to see your smiling face, the way I dreamed that it has been. For all night, for all time, all I want to do is walk the shoreline with you. Walk the shoreline with you. Seek out pathways that I knew when I was young. See old faces from the past. Girl who stayed with me in songs that I have sung. Names of heroes and old legends I have cast. Playing games and running free without a care. Those places paint my memory. Seems a dream remembering the things we did. It's far too easy to forget the dreams we had when we were kids. Hey folks, I'm Jack Fossett, and welcome to this demo and review of the new Fender SFX 2 acoustic guitar amplifier. This is a cool new amplifier in Fender's stereo field expansion line, and it's a dual 100-watt amplifier with two simple but very effective channels designed for using acoustic guitar and vocals to be able to do simultaneously, as you just heard. It works great for its simplicity and for its great sound, and that's what I like about it. So when I look at an acoustic amp, the first thing that I look for is, does it have a rich acoustic tone? Because there's a lot of acoustic amps out there, and many of them have a lot of bells and whistles and things, but a lot of them just sound flat. And for me, the most important thing is that it is a good representation of the acoustic guitar. Now, I'm very pleased with the acoustic guitar tones coming from it, and I'm going to be using several different guitars in this demo to kind of show you a little bit of what it can do and how its sound reacts and everything. Very simple controls and very simple identical controls on each channel. It has a whole multitude of effects, including reverb, chorus, delay, and then some where you can double them up, like chorus and delay, reverb and delay, which I particularly like. Foot switchable. It's got an XLR out for each channel on the back, ground lift. It's got everything that you'd want from an acoustic guitar amp as far as functionality. It's really small and it's really light, but it's very loud, and with the SFX technology, it has this nice, it really works. I was pleasantly surprised, considering how small it was, that it could sound kind of so wide and everything. It's a very well done amplifier, and I can't believe how light it is, which is great. It's, you know, it's plenty loud for a lot of gigs, for a lot of solo gigs, and to be able to just pick up something like this and go and be able to get a great sound from your acoustic guitar and your vocals just right in one package, be loud enough but not be overpowering with carrying tons of gear. It's a really, really great amplifier. So I was mentioning going for a great tone. Now, before we get too much further into it, I just want to play you a basic acoustic guitar tone, because again, this is a point for me that's a starting point. Right off the bat, before I make any decisions about, you know, the amplifier itself and its other features and what am I looking for, I want to know if it just sounds good with an acoustic guitar. So here it is, just a basic acoustic guitar tone with a Martin loaded with a K&K Pure Mini undersaddle pickup. All right, now we're going to try it with another guitar and dial in a little bit of effect here. This is a Gretsch that has an active Fishman pickup in it. The active pickup is going to have a lot more as far as the EQ goes. I did find with this amp in general, as with pretty much any acoustic amp I've ever played, you don't need a ton on the EQ. In fact, in most cases, especially when you get to louder volumes, it helps to dial back the EQ a lot. You really, with an acoustic amp, just want as much EQ as you need and not anything more, because anything more, and that's when the bass can sound too boomy and the treble can sound too ice picky and things. It sounds nice, I found, with the EQ backed off a little bit up in the noonish area, but I pulled a little bit of the bass at times and I pulled a little bit of the mids at times. Now it has a load of effects and everything, and the effects sound great, and they also sound good if you just dial them in a little bit. So I'm going to play some on this guitar next, and I'm going to dial in a little bit of chorus. Not so much that it sounds like the really watery, flowy chorus sound, but just enough that I'm getting kind of a hint of it in almost a slightly stereo doubler effect. So check out this guitar with a Fishman pickup going in and using a little bit of chorus. Now, I play a number of different styles of guitar, and so one of the other things that I tend to look for is not only does it have a good acoustic sound, but is it a good representation of the guitar itself? Is it just kind of giving me like a, even if it's a good tone, is it kind of a generic tone, or does it really emphasize the guitar tone and the various pickup tones? So for these next two tones, I'm going to use two different types of guitars. Next, I'm going to use a Recording King Rattlesnake Resonator and plug in, and this sounds really good if you play slide and dial in a generous portion of the reverb and delay. It's a really beautiful sound. For the last tone example here, I want to play another type of guitar that probably many of you use out live, and that's a nylon string classical guitar. And I really like the way that this amp works with a classical guitar. It has the right kind of evenness, and again, a nice representation. You get the softness, but there's still enough kind of presence and bite to it. So here it is playing a classical guitar into this amp. Apart from all these effects and tonal things, it also has a looper that's foot switchable. It's a great all-purpose kind of performing and an amp that you could do some recording with, again, particularly with the line out for each channel. Really great new acoustic amp from Fender. I'm very pleased with the acoustic tones that I was getting out of it. This is definitely something that I would perform with live, and particularly using the SFX knob to get the effects in stereo really creates kind of a wide, nice image that makes the amp sound bigger and, again, wider. It really works for acoustic guitar, makes it sound spacious and open and kind of all the things that you want for an acoustic performance, as opposed to having kind of a flat linear sound. It's a little bit more lush, it's a little bit more spacious. I think it's a great representation of the tones that are going into it, both vocally and acoustically. So let us know, have you used any acoustic amps from Fender's line? I've played with Acoustasonics for a long time. If you enjoyed the song at the beginning, it's called Shoreline. It is the title track of my album, Shoreline. Feel free to follow the links below where you can check out that song and the rest of the album. I'm Jack Fossett. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.